What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Doug Pearson just had his press conference where he confirmed the ACL tear for Carson Wentz. I was going to record this on OBS so you could see my reaction over Doug Pearson's press conference. I was going to do a cool little thing where I have my Carson Wentz jersey on and I'd take it off to reveal my Nick Foles jersey. To try to lighten the mood because things are not good right now for us Philadelphia Eagle fans. Carson Wentz with the ACL tear. And I assume a lot of you guys will be, I already did my reaction, my live reaction last night. And I'm pretty much numb to the fact right now. I'm not going to be having a C-Fofo 5 moment or anything like that. But I assume you're coming here just to see, what's the outlook. C4 is the kind of guy that's going to try to, not maybe necessarily put a positive spin on things, but he's going to hit you with the truth. And I'm going to try to get to that at some point during this video. But, we'll talk about Carson Wentz right now. I don't know if there's severities to ACL tears. I know I've seen personally a couple ACL tears for people that I know, and I've seen what's the process with it. But I still don't know if is it like burns where there's a first, second, third degree tear? Is it just a straight outright tear? Because the fact that Carson Wentz was able to stay in for 4 more plays, throw that touchdown pass to Alshon Jeffrey, and then walk off makes me believe that maybe it wasn't a full severity tear. It wasn't ACL MCL or something that happened with Jason Peters, right? So just trying to think about the future. If it's not that bad, there's a chance Carson Wentz is back for preseason game 3 next season, and we don't miss a game. We don't have to put him on the pup or anything like that. It sucks though. How much adversity is this team gonna face? That's what I need to ask. He's at least like teams like the Texans, that had some aspirations, but they got shot in the bud real early in the season when everyone started dropping like flies. They were able to prepare themselves. Start thinking about next year. But now, of course, with the Eagles, right when we clinch the division, it goes down. And I mean, I don't know what's going on with the league. There's drawing a lot of eerily similar comparisons to what happened with the Raiders last year. When Derek Carr went down, Derek Carr was having an MVP-ish season, even though I think Carson Wentz having a little bit better season than what Derek Carr was. I think already had more touchdown passes and stuff like that. But still, no, it doesn't take away from the fact that the Raiders look like legitimate Super Bowl contenders. Maybe they could come in and buck the trend of the Patriots constantly being the team that just lives in the Super Bowl. And then, no, of course, because we can't have neutral football fans and Eagle football fans can't have anything nice. It's probably going to be more of the same with the Patriots just winning a predictable Super Bowl matchup. But, like I said, I don't know the severity of it. It sucks. And it is tough to come with the, a next man up mentality. How many times are we just going to get kicked in the pills? First it was Jordan Hicks went down, the leader of our defense. Pro Football Focus, I think, had last year as the number 3 linebacker. In my opinion, he's the second best cover linebacker behind Luke Kuechly. And, he was out of the lineup, and we're able to still find a way to adapt. I mean, debatably, if Jordan Hicks is in the lineup, maybe Russell Wilson doesn't have as many, spectacular plays in that loss against the Seahawks. Maybe Todd Gurley doesn't break away for as many plays as he did in the loss, I guess, for the Rams against the Eagles. But, you're seeing maybe some, definitely some, holes in our defense that if Jordan Hicks was in there, we probably wouldn't have that. But we found a way to adapt. We found a way to just revert to Jim Schwartz's 2 linebackers on the field during the nickel sets where he just lives in that with Bradham and Kendricks. We've been able to find a way to adapt. Then Jason Peters went down. Top 5 tackle, probably a Hall of Famer, I would think. Maybe not first ballot, but probably a Hall of Famer. And he went down. And then we're like, oh my God. Of course, we got to put Big V in. And Big V's been serviceable, but still, next man up. All right. I mean, most of the offensive line, we can try our best to mask a tackle. I mean, it's incredibly difficult to mask a left tackle because it's debatably the best, most important position after the quarterback. But we found a way to adapt. And really, outside of that game against the Seattle Seahawks, Big V has done a serviceable job, and everyone else on the line has kind of picked up the slack. We're like, all right, we've had a bunch of adversity, even though, the Skip Baylesses of the world just want to act like the Philadelphia Eagles haven't had a single injury all year. And then Carson Wentz goes down. And then you're like, oh my God. They just don't want something. I'm not superstitious at all. I'm not, I'm not a religious type. But it feels like there's just something that doesn't want Philadelphia to have nice things. I mean, if you're an older Eagles fan, you remember, anytime Michael Vick got good, he'd find a way to get hurt. Anytime Donovan McNabb got good, find a way to get hurt. Anytime Randall Cunningham and this team looked real good, poised to win something, Cunningham would get hurt. Now it's Carson Wentz. Team looks great. Cunningham gets hurt. Wentz gets hurt, sorry. So it's just maybe we need to start drafting quarterbacks that run a 6-something 40 that will never leave the pocket or something like that. But, it is next man up, and Nick Foles is the next man. And you would say, when you look around the league at clear quarterback twos, I'm not talking about rookies waiting for the chance to start. I'm not talking about quarterbacks like a Jimmy Garoppolo type that clearly are just a good trade away from going to some other team. I'm talking about a guy that's paid to be the backup quarterback. I feel like Nick Foles, is debatably the best, if not the best in the league. There's a reason why he's getting paid a lot of money. And, looking at the body work, Nick Foles, there's a point in time in Philadelphia. There's a reason why I bought that Nick Foles jersey that I'm looking at right now. It's because 27-2. He threw 7 touchdowns against the Raiders. And, it's not like what was that guy's name? Matt Flynn or whatever, where he had one big game for the Packers and then just never did anything and bounced around the league. Nick Foles had a stellar season, and then he was able to get traded, had immense value, I guess, if you really want to, talk about that Bradford-Foles trade, that the Rams traded for what they believe was their franchise quarterback in Nick Foles. But unfortunately, it was the Rams. Terrible offensive line, no receivers, and Jeff Fisher. And this is the same Jeff Fisher Rams team that now, with a new coach and still 90% of the offense, is one of the most prolific offenses in the league. So the fact that Nick Foles is down year, the reason why Nick Foles is no longer viewed as a starter in the league, it was Jeff Fisher. So I kind of feel like that gives you a little bit of room to be optimistic. The 27-2 gives you room to be optimistic. How he came into that game to finish out and win against the Rams lets you be optimistic. Clearly, he didn't get any reps during the week. Clearly, he wasn't prepared to come in, even though, you probably would hope he was. But when you see Carson Wentz 4 touchdowns on the day, you're like, all right, man, this guy's rolling. I'm good, right? And then he comes in. You could tell with some of the checkdown stuff like that, he wasn't completely comfortable with the routes or his wide receivers. But you saw in that 3rd down completion to Nelson Aguilar that, yes, that play right there, that is the play that tells me that Nick Foles is going to be all right. I'm not saying that Nick Foles is going to lead us to a Super Bowl. I'm not even saying Nick Foles is going to lead us to a playoff victory, which has been, since this Eagle got on the hot streak, my goal was for, at the very least, Carson Wentz to get his first win as an Eagles player in the playoffs. That's something that's a foundation and a step you can build upon. Now, obviously, that's not going to happen. I still have that goal for this team. Get that one playoff win, become a team that gets that experience, go to the championship, get in that big game environment, and carry that over into next season. I don't want to be one and done. And what we saw with Nick Foles with that play, that clutch play, is that he can do this. He can anchor this team to be able to be competitive, to be a grinding team. We have the team to grind out victories. That is the positive here. Even though at the point where Carson Wentz left that game against the Rams, he was the MVP in the NFL. We saw what Russell Wilson did against the Jags, and nothing that Tom Brady can do against a terrible Dolphins team is going to surpass Carson Wentz this week in terms of who's the MVP. So the league's MVP wasn't the only reason why we were winning this game and winning these games. We were able to run the ball. We were playing good defense for the most part. And the defense the last couple weeks, really, ever since the game against the Chicago Bears, defense has not played their best football. 100%. But when Carson Wentz got out, Nick Foles came in 3-0, 3-0. We're like, oh my God, this game's done. Settling for field goal. I mean, we're not going to get a touchdown. The defense flicked the switch. The defense was looking horrible all day. Todd Gurley was just gashing them for plays left, right, and center. The defense stepped it up. We got the Chris Long sack fumble. We got the Brandon Graham interception, pick 6. I mean, it was a garbage time, it was a lateral, but still counts. This defense shut the Rams down when they needed to. Their backs were against the wall. This wasn't the Eagles team dancing, doing the electric slide. This was a team that got punched in the mouth, understood that, this is on us. The defense said, this is going to be on us. We are going to win this game. We're going to help this Eagles team try to do something in the playoffs. And because of that, it's a comparison league. There's a reason why when you talk about Carson Wentz, there's some jerk in a friggin' pair of jean shorts and a crew cut saying, "Oh, Dak Prescott better." It's a comparison league. So let's do our own little comparison. Look at the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings are a team, even with their loss last week, are still considered a Super Bowl contender. A lot of people are saying the narrative that, they're going to play in their home stadium for the Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles with Nick Foles are so similar to the Minnesota Vikings that I believe that we all still should believe. That's going to be the tagline of the video. When you look at Nick Foles, he is definitely in Case Keenum territory in terms of talent. The offenses still stay the same. The defenses stay the same. I'd give the slight edge to the Vikings defense, where I'd give the slight edge still to the Philadelphia Eagles offense. They can still win this game. They can still win all these games. Philadelphia, they have 3 remaining games. I think that they win one of these games. they get first round bye, and if they win 2 of the 3, they get home field. So if the Vikings are considered still legitimate contenders with Case Keenum, then the Eagles are still considered contenders. Maybe not legitimate, but still in that conversation with Nick Foles. It could be a lot worse, and I'm ready to get behind Nick Foles. It's a terrible situation with Carson Wentz. Right now, I guess the only positive we can hope for is that his surgery is really, really successful, and he doesn't miss any time next season. I heard there's rumblings that Sidney Jones might come back this year, which is, I mean, kind of a positive, I suppose. But we got to get behind Nick Foles. He is a capable quarterback that if he does not turn the ball over and we commit to be a run-first team with Jai and we play good defense, this is an Eagles team, man, that it's there. The talent is there for us to make a playoff run. I never was even saying with Carson Wentz that this is a Super Bowl team. I'm not going to say it now or something outlandish with Nick Foles, but all I can say is Nick Foles is good enough not to say that the season's done. That's all I can say, because everyone, obviously, in the chat and stuff like that, so all Eagles are done, this and that. Nick Foles is a good enough quarterback that is not the case. But, I mean, it all starts this week. You got an easiest matchup against the Giants this week. I mean, the same Giants team that let Dak Prescott go for like 380 and 3 touchdowns. So, I mean, it's a good welcoming for Nick Foles to see what he can bring to the table. I'm excited as you possibly could be with our starting quarterback going down with an ACL. But yeah, man, I'm just trying my best to give you Eagle fans out there a little bit of outlook, a little bit of hope. Not all is doom and gloom. It's not like we're the Raiders when Derek Carr went down, they had to go to Matt McGloin, or any time that the Cardinals had Palmer go down, they had to go to Drew Stanton. We have Nick Foles. We have a guy that has been there, done that. And, what if somehow, some way, with these weapons, Nick Foles can tap into that 27-2? What if? I'm not going to say any speculation of what the result could be, but just what if? The talent is there. He hasn't had an injury. He just needs to get in the right scenario, and I believe he can tap into that talent. So we got to wait and see, but that does it for me here today, guys. I got to go work on some of these rebuilds for the 12 rebuilds of Christmas. So let me know what you guys want to say. Just vent in the comment section below. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.